This edition of Mac Voices is sponsored by lynda.com, the unparalleled online video training library. For a free 10-day unlimited trial, visit lynda.com/macvoices.
Mac Voices is at CES Unveiled in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. I'm in the Synology booth talking to Andrea about everything that Synology is showing. It's great to have you.
Thank you so much for coming, Chuck. We really appreciate it. Mac Voices is a wonderful outlet, and we are just delighted to be covered by you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So obviously, we know a lot of what Synology does, but what are you showing that's new?
So today we are showing our new Synology router. It is a 1900ac router, and it is such a great router. Specifically, we won a CES 2016 Innovation Honoree recognition for our very first router in the market. So what is great about this router is that it's easy to use. It's got an amazing interface, and many times routers can be very complicated. It's really confusing. We designed our router so that it has a desktop-like interface, so it's very easy to use. Whether you're using it with mobile devices or you're using it with your PC, it is really easy to use. And in addition to that, our router is an all-in-one router that allows you to have private cloud access. We've got USB ports, so you can use it as a private cloud. You can also use it as a DNLA media server, and it's only $149.99. In addition to that, for people who really are very concerned about, having control over their traffic, our Synology router is designed so that basically the router is set up so that you can control your traffic by device and by application and by time, because it has an application layer QoS. So what that means is, basically, if you want to set up your router so that it only allows your kids to stream videos from Monday through Friday, you can set it up to do so. You can definitely, and you can specifically block out times. So also, let's say, for example, you have kids and you want them to do their homework as soon as they get home from school. You can actually set up their device and actually put on a layer so that their device doesn't allow them to have internet access, or does not allow them to access specific applications and websites during the times that you want them to be doing their homework. But you, in turn, can still have access using your computer. So it's really great. Another thing that we find that consumers are going to be really excited about, very enthusiastic about, is specifically we have designed a DNS filter that allows users to block groups of inappropriate websites with very easily. So Synology has gone in and we've identified all of these inappropriate websites, and we've built categories of these sites. And you can go into your router, and let's say you want to block a category like adult content, gambling, or drugs. You can go in there and you can check that in our user interface so that those sites are already blocked, and you don't have to manually enter individual sites yourself. It's a great time saver for families.
Wow, so many things to cover here.
So many things. That's why we're like, it's a great user interface, and I think that's one of the reasons why we were able to win the CES award. We're just delighted.
So let's start with the personal cloud. So if you're going into that space, I have to ask about security. If you're setting yourself up, and you're doing it, it's an interesting way to do it. You're going in via the router as opposed to having a device on its own. What kind of protection do we have if I decide to put confidential information behind your router?
Well, we can also encrypt information with Synology technology, but one of the other things that's really helpful with our security, Synology has an active team of security experts that are always looking for security issues and concerns. Obviously, with any product that uses a web-based platform, there's nothing that's 100%, but Synology is very diligent. Our people are constantly looking for any issues that could arise, developing patches and fixes for them early, and then sending updates out to our customers for them to update their systems, and they can be proactive in protecting their data. Then we also encourage people to use our backup solutions. It's very important to back up your data, and so if you have remote site backup to your data, if you're backing up your data to other locations, that can also help with security measures. And then again, encryption. We have many encryption features with our Synology NAS. There's just so much that we have available.
To go back to the kids thing,
yes,
because this is another big thing that a lot of people are interested in, but it's been tried so many times before. And how are you addressing the issue of what today might be considered adult content or might be acceptable content tomorrow is not? New things get added, new domains come up.
So the other benefit, we're actively monitoring and updating that DNS filter. So if new popular sites or very sites that people would consider to fall in that category, they'll be added. But also, you as the person who owns the router have control, because we actually have features where where it's not just block content. You can actually go in and add websites yourself individually. We just provided this time-saving alternative for you. And also, in turn, if you choose to allow some content that you think is appropriate that we have on the list, you can actually add it. The user interface is really easy. It's set up so that you have a lot of control. And I think that's kind of the message about this particular router, is that you as a consumer have so much more control. It's easier to use. We even have like help lookup. So for example, if you want to change your router settings and you wanted to figure out how do I do this, you can go into our search bar, you can put in the information, and it'll pull the content for you so that you can find out how to do that. And if you're looking at anything that's confusing, we have it has like information where it has like a question you can hover over. It explains what it is. It talks you through it. So that's why we think that this router is going to be really very good for consumers.
Most people, I think, the average consumer is a little afraid to mess with their router. Once they get it set up, they don't want to play with it. And so you've really worked hard on the interface to make it something that I don't mind going in and trying.
Exactly. Thank you. And only $149.99. It's great. Thank you so much for stopping by the booth and talking to us about this router. I mean, I think that's pretty much the most exciting thing that we have at the show.
What kind of pricing?
$149.99.
And availability?
It's coming this year, soon. Coming soon.
Great. And the website?
Synology.com. Synology.com.
Perfect. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Folks, we'll have more from CES Unveiled in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. This is Mac Voices.
Visit MacVoices.com for links, show notes, to subscribe, to connect with Chuck on Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and the Mac Voices blog. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter, the Mac Voices Dispatch, to stay up to date on all the latest Mac Voices news from our front page or at macvoices.com/newsletter. Do more with your Apple tech by subscribing to the free Mac Voices magazine on Flipboard by visiting macvoices.com/magazine. Advertising and sponsorships handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.